and welcome to Illinois Corn TV. My name is Haley Bickelhop, and I'm the Policy Communications Manager at Illinois Corn. On this show, we bring you informative ag interviews helping Illinois farmers grow. We've broken this show up into two parts today, so let's get started with part one, our featured interview with Kevin Daugherty. Kevin is the Education Director at Illinois Ag in the Classroom. This week, we talked about adapting agricultural education programs and Kevin's work for the organization. So let's jump into the interview. Well, thanks, Kevin, for joining us this morning. We're really glad to have you on, and we're always happy to talk with our friends at Illinois Ag in the Classroom. And so as we start, I want to know more about your role. We know education is always changing. How do you stay informed about the evolving needs and challenges faced by teachers and students in the agriculture education?
Well, yeah, that's a great question. So my staff and I, we coordinate the efforts along with the county coordinators. So our real boots on the ground, the feet in the classrooms, are our county level coordinators. So across the state of Illinois, 102 counties, 89 of those counties have a paid person that goes into the classrooms at the county level and also helps facilitate teacher training. So they help us keep us informed with what's going on and what they're seeing. Additionally, here at the Illinois Ag in the Classroom, as a division of the Illinois Farm Bureau, we work really closely with a number of folks at the education level. Now, it's March, so we're in the middle of our conference season. Last week, we were just with the Illinois Association of Supervision and Curriculum Development. That's a mouthful, but IASCD acronyms. We're in agriculture. We like those too. But the IASCD Kindergarten and Early Childhood Conference, one of the largest conferences in the state. Almost 3,000 kindergarten teachers were there, and we had four different workshop sessions, each with 25 to 30 teachers in it. We had a very interactive booth. People like to come and see what we're up to, but a huge emphasis on early childhood learning in the state of Illinois. We continue to hear that at the state level in the governor's address. You see funding put toward that at the state house as well. So we are at those conferences and we see those things. And then next week, we are at the Illinois Reading Conference. We'll be down in Springfield, the Reading Teachers Association. And really that emphasis on reading. In Illinois, we spend a lot of time talking about reading. So it's one of those things that I work with our commodity partners and make sure that they understand that we're always promoting books and how that works. And from that K through 8th grade level, everybody is talking about reading, how we can improve reading scores and what we can do. So our goal at Ag in the Classroom is to make sure that we have accurate agricultural information that's going out in the form of reading that then we can link back to science and social studies and really talk about that accurate ag. So those are two ways. Third way, I'm a former teacher. My staff is made up of former teachers. Most of our coordinators have education backgrounds as well. And then as a glutton for punishment, I also happen to serve on the local school board. I've done that for over 20 years as well. So keep my feet in the pool, as you would say it, trying to figure out what's going on educationally. But one of the biggest challenges that we continue to see is what's going on funding wise, and making sure that our teachers and our schools have that local control. So I think that'll probably hit home for most of our Illinois corn farmers. Again, those corn farmers, a number of your members, a number of your board members, that they're school board members as well. So understanding what goes on at the local level in that K through 12 non-blue jacketed. I like to say that everybody that's not an FFA, that's who we're responsible for. And we work really closely with our friends and our partners in ag education. But our goal is to help provide accurate information and educational resources for those non-ag teachers.
Yeah, that's a great place to start. And you're talking about attending conferences, meeting with people, being on different boards. How does your awareness through these different activities influence the development of new programs or the way you modify existing ones?
Our bread and butter issues, a number of people, I'll dig down in my pile here, are familiar with our ag mags. We have 27 different ag mags. They've been a staple with Illinois Farm Bureau for over almost 30 years now. having our ag mags. Written at the fourth grade level, lots of information about different commodities. This one holding up corn, but different information about it. High interest for our fourth grade teachers, but most importantly, that aspect of careers on the back. How folks might be involved and our students might be involved in agriculture and that commodity without necessarily being on the farm. So trying to make sure that that works. We really strive to make sure that the readability is at that fourth grade level. But what we're seeing is our fourth graders aren't reading at the fourth grade level anymore. Across the state, that number dipped during COVID and is starting to come back, but it is slowly but surely coming back. But we actually developed a new piece of material called an Ag Mag Junior, more written like a weekly reader at a slightly lower level. But we also developed something for our upper level readers. Sometimes that's an Ag Mag Junior, but more second grade focused. And then, but we found that some of our sixth graders, they didn't want to carry around an Ag Mag. It looked too childish. It looked too elementary. So we developed a reader, same type of information, but it looks more scholarly. Same type of information, accurate information, researched where it comes from, but that is helping our older students identify with those commodity groups as well. But we also found that even sometimes our little readers, our youngest readers, our kindergarten readers, we had to develop a one-page sheet for those as well. So what we did for a number of years was concentrate on our ag mags, and now we have readers, we have little readers, we have kindergarten readers, we have junior ag mags. But we've also found that there's this taste for more. Teachers want more, and that's an easy thing for us to do. Is we've moved toward an online version. But one of the things we've come up with is a new thing on our website, and they're called Farm Bites. It's hard to do a whole unit on horseradish. I'll just tell you, it's a kind of cool thing. In Illinois, we grow a lot of horseradish, but we're not going to have a whole ag mag on it. So we've got a one page, 3 or 4 main facts about horseradish on one side. But because we grow more horseradish than any other state in the nation, on the back, we have that interview with a farmer. So on a number of topics that we'll never do an ag mag on. Again, we won't have a maple syrup ag mag. That's a Vermont thing. We won't have a horseradish ag mag. But we've got these one-pagers that really can introduce teachers and students to the topic, but more importantly, make sure that they introduce themselves. They're introduced to an Illinois farm family as well. My staff and I, we keep incredibly busy making sure that we're keeping up with that. We have a new one coming out, turf management. So between roadsides, cemeteries, lawns, golf courses, sporting fields. So trying to introduce some of those students to that career, and they're interested in soil science and plant science. That's what turf management is as well. So we'll have a one-pager coming out on turf, and maybe get some students and teachers out to a golf course and see what goes on out there, or to it's hard to have those lush playing fields and football fields in the fall without folks understanding what turf is.
Definitely. I think that would be a fun field trip for a lot of kids. Opportunity to go to a golf course or some sporting event. So it sounds like you all are staying busy with all of your different publications there. But I want to hear a little bit more too about your career. I know you've been with the Illinois Farm Bureau for many years. How has your experience evolved over the years? You gave us some great examples of some different things that you've been working on. And then what are some of those key lessons that you've learned that continue to guide your leadership in ag education?
How things have changed. I think the thing that's changed the most is back in the day, you used to have a textbook. When you were in elementary school, you probably remember you got your books and maybe you even covered them with a brown paper grocery bag or something like that. Students today don't have textbooks. Post-COVID, you see fewer and fewer textbooks, specifically at that elementary level, and we're developing more units. So because of that, we see the opportunity for our materials, like our one-page farm bites, like our junior ag mags, like our ag mags, to really make that difference in classes. So that's one of the things that we've noticed a difference about. Whereas before we were trying to fit into the textbook, where did it fall and what happened within a textbook? Now our goal is really to see how we can take ag accurate information and make sure that it fits into both the state learning standards and those local learning standards, what they're up to. Packing peanuts, that's one of our huge things we do with corn. It's a little harder to get corn to germinate on a necklace around your neck, takes a little longer, that type of thing, but than it does a soybean. But corn packing peanuts using byproducts of corn. And, so a lot of people have seen the packing peanuts. Well, it might be brand new to that third grader. Just because we've seen it as adults and we've done it doesn't mean that those students and our primary audience doesn't mean that they've seen it. And also, we've noticed this trend too. Even our kindergartners who have no chance at all of reading our fourth grade level ag mag, we really encourage it, and our teachers really like the activities that are in here, and they like sending those home because they'll have a book to send home. And they can send this home and their parents can learn as well. I'm my master's in education. I was president of our local school board, and we'd hired a teacher, wonderful teacher in our school. My son misheard her. When he was in second grade, he misunderstood what she said, but he was willing to die with what she said, which was something wrong. And I'm like, dude, it's wrong. I'm telling you it's wrong. But to those second and third graders, there's nobody more influential than their teacher. So our work with teachers is really key to this because they're the ones that know everything in the eyes of those kids. So if those kids bring something home that their teacher has said, hey, take this home, read this, we'll be able to provide education and information both to that student that hopefully they'll learn and remember, but also to their parents and provide that information to them. One of the activities we did this year, we borrowed something. I've been waiting to do this. Several years ago at a Farm Progress show, the corn growers at the Corn Growers Tent in Decatur brought out underwear, and they soiled their underwear. And they talked about burying underwear. And for 2023, we actually got a grant, and soil's just not an exciting topic. I mean, we got drones and we got digital information and we got AI, and here I am, this guy up there talking about dirt, right? So how are we going to do that? And we did, I had the strangest expense account at the Illinois Farm Bureau because I bought about 800 pair of boys' underwear, and we passed those out all over the state and encouraged teachers to bury those and dig those up throughout the fall. We started at the beginning of the year, and we had them digging them up. They planted a back to school week, and we dug them up all the way through Veterans Day. And the students were able to see good, healthy soil. What happened as the underwear was broken down, and what happened as we soiled our undies. So it's more than just a catchphrase or a topic. It's really providing that information. So more information about and education about what happened with the underwear, about the importance of taking care of the soil, and how that all works together, and how farmers, every day's Earth Day on the farm. So we're interested in making sure that they understand that with a unique way that they will remember. And it was a great way, social media, to send that home. And what did we do today at school? Well, we were burying underwear. And oh my gosh, look what the earthworms did to our underwear and how we were able to dig it up.
Well, that sounds like an exciting activity. I know we still get a lot of comments from our Farm Progress show display numerous years ago. And I can also echo, the words of your son from second grade. I've had a lot of really influential teachers. And so I think all these things that you're talking about are great things to highlight. We are glad to be able to partner with you as well, and thankful for those opportunities for our intern. And we just want to thank you once again for taking some time to talk with us today. We'll continue to keep highlighting all the work you're doing to educate our students about agriculture. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
Now, I guess let's move on to part 2, not to be corny. But did you know the U.S. reigns supreme, producing a whopping 36% of the world's entire corn supply? China follows roughly behind with roughly 22% of global production, followed by Brazil with 8%. But this corn empire doesn't just feed our bellies, it's a major economic player, creating jobs and pumping billions into the economy. From animal feed to ethanol, corn fuels industries far beyond our kitchens. Thanks for listening to another episode of Illinois Corn TV, where we deliver insightful ag interviews, positioning our farmers to grow. Stay tuned for more content every week, and be sure to subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see you next week.